And a very good morning to all of you. Aloha
Aloha.
from the canyons of Hillcrest in San Diego. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday morning. It is YouTube payday today, huh?
We got to get paid.
Gotta get paid today. Let's wait a couple minutes. Good morning, Quinny. How you doing, KK? Karen, how are you? KM from Toronto.
Good
Nice
morning,
to see you.
KM. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, sweetie. Good morning to you. I was eating chicken soup. My mom makes this. All right, Miguel, good. Good morning, Bailey. Good morning, everybody. It is officially Tijuana Day today. Hey, how you doing, Survivor? Connie Lee, good morning to you. Says good morning. Hi, Rosie and Elvis. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Remember, start your day the 7-Eleven way. Okay, the official, unofficial sponsor of the Rosie O'Kelly morning shoot. Well, Marshall, quite a night last night, huh? You had the ups and downs.
Ups and downs, yeah.
Street confrontations and cool people.
Oh yeah, it was. We definitely had a pretty good time. Rosie was kind of exhausted, and I'm surprised she was, because you guys know how much stamina she has, right?
Well, I wasn't exhausted enough to not drive down to the other
Right.
club. So
But
Tijuana should be cool. Can't wait to see some. Yeah.
I would say we did about maybe a two-mile chooch, wouldn't you say? At least.
Bell hemorrhoid. Don't worry about it.
But Rosie is known to do 6 to 7 mile chooches. So
Hey, Jackie, how are you? Glad you enjoyed last night's chooch very much. Very appreciated that you saw that. Mark Handler, good morning. That meltdown was epic. Then he kept making reference to your age. Yeah. He likes to do that, right? He likes to do that. He likes to try to he likes to try to treat me like an oyster. He's always digging that little shucking knife in to see what's going to pop the top on me. But he knows I'm pretty not to go off on anyone in Tijuana. Quinny said, please don't go off on anybody in Tijuana.
well, first of all, when you go, most of you have never been to Mexico, and when you go to Mexico, it's a whole different feel than the United States. Rosie knows.
Hi, Diane.
She's been to Los Algodones, and I think that some Americans can be pretty obnoxious and ignorant and rude, and that's just not the case in Mexico. People are a lot more laid back in Mexico. It's a lot more laid back atmosphere. So Rosie knows how friendly the people in Algodones were. She saw me talking to several of them. So Rosie can talk all about America and the San Diego beaches and all that, but I guarantee her that she can go to Mexico and get a beach just as nice as here, with better nightlife, better food, and better prices, and it'll beat America in every way, in every aspect.
We'll know in wintertime to drive.
If you ever go to Ensenada, yeah.
You know.
I've heard of.
We shall see.
Exactly.
Be safe. Yeah, be aware of your surroundings. I really don't want to be there after dark. I mean, that's the difference. I kind of have a target on my back. They're probably not going to impress Marshall into the sex trade in Tijuana.
I think that a lot of people say things like, a lot of nomads in Prescott told me, there's no way that you can urban camp in San Diego. It's impossible. And we've been doing it for 2-3 days here. So a lot of people say a lot of things that don't mean anything unless you go there to see it yourself. I'm not going to make that call. And so that's just the way it is. So
how you doing? Is that Uber Goober? How you doing, Uber Goober? Hope you're feeling good. Well, you're not feeling good, but I hope you're on the mend. She had a fall.
So, like, I just want to say that the majority of you watching, we got 75 watching. We'll probably have 250 people in here watching. As time goes by, it's going to climb up. If I were to ask you guys a question, have any of you been to Tijuana in the past year? And I bet you there's not one person in here that has.
Scottish?
Probably a handful. If you have, let me know what it's like. But most people haven't been down there. You can't make that call.
I'm glad you're feeling better, honey.
Yeah.
For me, it's been about 10 years since I've been to.
That's too long, yeah.
Tijuana. You know, so I'm not going to make any generalizations about things, because the one constant of the experience is that it's always been better than I thought it would be. You know, I had a picture in my mind, and then I go there, and it turns out it's like better than I thought it would be.
Right.
So,
well, San Luis, I've heard people were saying, oh, don't go to San Luis, you're going to get shot, and there's game bangers and all that. Well, there probably is. When we went, it was relatively safe. So a lot of people, like I said, say a lot of things. It doesn't mean anything. If they haven't been there recently and if they haven't investigated it, it doesn't mean anything. So I can't judge anything unless I see it in person. That's my.
The main street in Tijuana is called the Avenida de Revolution Avenue.
Right.
I think if you basically stay on that, don't deviate too far off, then I think that you're pretty much in a safe zone. But you never know. You never know. So.
Which is that? Is that known as Zona Norte?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's the 5th biggest city in Mexico.
Now think about it. This is a huge city that caters to Americans, right? There's there's millions of dollars being poured in by Americans there. Why would they want to destroy their economy?
Well,
why would they want to?
The guy, and there's 2 girls, and that guy said it in one word last night: Trump. They said Trump's dealings with Mexico have kind of soured relations, and people kind of have a chip on their shoulder at the
people
at the
still
border.
need to make
now,
money.
as to whether it's true or not, I don't know.
No,
but I'm just saying.
But I want to talk to a person. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. I want to talk to somebody in Tijuana in person and ask them, what is it like over here? Somebody that's actually there, not somebody here. I'm not going to take an American's word for it.
Partying in Tijuana because the drinking age was only 18, yeah.
I talked to
is that Lindsay? Today's payday, yeah. Well, I don't think the money will clear in the bank until, I don't think it'll be available to, if you get paid Monday. On a Saturday, it doesn't immediately hit your...
until Monday.
Yeah, until the next banking day, so, you know. Trust me, I'm on top of it. That's a nice little wad of money, trust me. And I'm quite confident Elvis has every intention of paying it back. And as I've said before, of all the money that I've lent out probably over a dozen times here on YouTube, with the most sincere promises that I will pay you back, in not one particular case has anybody ever paid me back.
You said Vegas Vixen.
So,
right?
Well, Vegas Vixen was gifted the money.
Oh,
okay.
Oh,
remember we were in Las Vegas, and she was down there, and you were
she still
talked her into that ill-fated hangout for Christmas. I ended up giving her $500 and $500 another time. That was a gift. I never asked for that back, but isn't it ironic that the only person that I gave it as a gift is the one that paid it back plus some? Okay. And the other ones, some are well known in the YouTube community, just swore up and down, I'll pay you back. Never made a move to do so. Okay? So, whether you like it or not, the fact remains, when he puts the money in my hand on Monday, it will be the first time on YouTube that anybody I've ever lent money to has paid it back.
Alone, okay.
He'll be number 1. The first one ever. Okay? Now I got to just put it out there, that's the reality. Will I get my money back? Yes. He quite knows I need that. It's in my budgeting for fall and winter travel. Again, I'm down here. Tonight's the second night in the San Diego area. Every night I'm saving. This is still prime time San Diego. I'm saving $225 a night with taxes. So You know, it's boondocking has been really cherry. Every area we go to had no encounters whatsoever. So that money helps me. If I don't have to go into a hotel, then it's a wonderful, wonderful day for me. And I haven't had to do it since June in Omaha, Nebraska. Believe it or not, that was the last time I ever spent a night in a hotel room.
How much was the room there?
Oh, I think it was like $79 or something like that. It was, you know, I felt more uncomfortable sleeping there than I do in my van because it was such a rundown flea bag of a place. You know, I don't have to worry about bed bugs. So.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, since you have such a big bed in here, why don't you just get a really good quality mattress and throw it in there?
You've seen the composition.
Mm-hmm.
I have two large gym mats,
right?
A 1-inch foam, 2 yoga mats, and a mattress topper.
Mm-hmm.
That's more comfortable than as comfortable as any bed I ever slept in a hotel. Tomorrow is laundry day. Okay, got to get some laundry done. I do like to wash my linens and get everything done.
I gotta do laundry too. So, who's that one moderator? That's a new name. Besides Mouse Toes, the other one. I've never seen that one.
One classy redhead, is that the one?
It's like a really small. That one. No, that one. Who is that?
Jen's been here.
Oh,
for
Jenn.
months.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
She's been here. Yeah, she's great. Got my sweet, wonderful friend. How you doing, Cheryl? What a huge difference in cameras. Rosie, your cam is awesome. Well, Marshall's got 100. What was your phone? 100. What was it?
That's $180 phone.
And I have about with all the storage capability, it's about a $800, $900 phone. So it's got the. There's Mouse Toes. It's got the real deal is that low light lens. That's the real.
Yeah.
Really lights up the night. Okay, that's a very expensive. It's a very expensive lens to produce.
Yeah.
And to my knowledge, it's the only cell phone camera that has. It's the fastest lens, I believe, that's out there. On there.
It makes a huge difference.
So. I like to do laundry about every 10 days or so. So tomorrow will be laundry day. Might have you guys along, show you what it's laundry on the road in the singing laundromat. Wouldn't that be good? Laundromat karaoke. Yeah. Remember that one in Detroit? I'm a YouTube, I'm a Elvis, tribute artist. Remember that one we were doing our laundry in Detroit? And she was on and on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like I don't know whether it's a track phone or Obama phone or one of those cricket phones you have.
I have a Samsung Galaxy J7 Crown, which is it's a good, cheap phone. It's not a bad phone, but the camera on it in the daytime is fine. In the nighttime, it's terrible. It doesn't have the low-level capability of picking up the light.
S8's a good camera. Yeah, it has the. Yeah, that Andrea has the S8, I believe. So the S9 starts the low light feature.
Well, we don't really know. We don't really know if that's. The S9 is still kind of expensive right now, but they have the S8 for $300.
Morning, Missy Jenn. How you doing, sweetie?
Good morning, Jen.
Morning on the Rancho up there. Another day on the Rancho.
Another day.
Rounding up the herd for morning feeding up there on the Rancho. Rosie, did he pop a blue one? I haven't seen him take any. The only thing I'm just encouraging him to continue to take the Prilosec through the full course, okay? Do I judge that he's feeling better by his behavior? Yes, I do. Because 2 days ago, he was in real misery. Every time he would eat, he'd be like, oh. And then he went down in El Cajon. He had to kill the hangout. It was, where do you stand on that today?
Well, I'm feeling much better. Some of the acid and pain was creeping up on me. I just took my Prilosec and 4 Tums, and so yeah, it's getting better, thank God. Because if it wasn't, I wouldn't be able to walk over 2 miles last night. Well over 2 miles. So, yeah.
Yeah, his color is better. It's amazing what a day on the beach will do for you too. Put a little color.
Oh, I got a little tan, I think, probably
Yeah.
on the beach.
So today is gone down to Tijuana, and then tomorrow I need to do laundry. I think Tara wants to meet up tomorrow. I'm not sure we'd like with Diane. Waiting to see if we can make that happen. Like I said, I'm going to be in and out in the area. You know, taking off for Los Algodones probably early on the 30th there, September 30th. And then after 2 days or so there, coming back to the area for another 2 or 3 days, and then head north. Got to get home and got to get Missy Jenn all situated for her infusion. So there'll be more time down here. Now that I know this, now that I know the San Diego area and how easy, I gotta take one of my allergy pills. How easy how cherry the boondocking is down here, especially with Little Rascal. Although you've not had any problems with your van camper. It's an area that's going to be a lot more open to me. It's going to be a lot more enjoyable. I don't have to worry about a weekly $1,500 hotel bill or something like that.
I'd have to ask, is this the first time that you've urban camped in this van in San Diego?
Yes.
Because every time you've came here, you stayed in
Well, I've had Missy Jenn.
a hotel, and that's why I've asked you many times before, where do you boondock in San Diego? And there was never a solid answer on it.
Yeah.
Because
if
you
you're
never
enjoying
did
the
it,
chat, please give a thumbs up this morning. So, yeah, this is the first time. I always had this idea in my head, and I don't know if the Chamber of Commerce puts it out in San Diego or whatever. They feed that myth that you can't van dwell or urban boondock in San Diego.
Right.
We've seen, well, maybe if you want to be right by the beach and you want to be on Main Street, Pacific Beach, yeah, it's easy for a cop to just roll up on you. Hey, you're sleeping in the van. And,
Right.
But I noticed here that the cops aren't very aggressive in San Diego. They do have private patrol forces that go around. So
depending
that's
on
story.
the streets, it depends on the streets that you're on. So
Good morning. We have seen a few
parking enforcement
parking
officer.
enforcement people too.
Yep.
What's up, Bergs? Yeah, we're off to Tijuana today, Bergs. Hope you're doing good. Good morning to you. Yeah, we'll be picking up some more merch. It just won't be today. I don't have a lot of access to my... Rosie, what would they do if you didn't answer the knock? That's a good question. They'd probably leave a ticket on your... I'm not sure what they do. If you hide out and you don't answer, they're not going to open your doors.
No, they're not. They'll probably cite you a ticket. I would say they'll probably cite you.
Yeah.
And then move along.
So that's a really good question. How are the teeth recovery going there?
I'm doing okay, healing slowly but steadily here, and yeah, I got, like I said, I'm proud to show him. He's not the canine, but these two, this one and this one. I know.
Yeah, you got to be kind of happy there's an end in sight to all this
Oh yeah.
stuff coming up.
Exactly, yeah.
Last time they didn't use any anesthesia when they cut your gum away and everything. So you don't get them knocked out tonight. Yeah, Storm Area 51. There's really, what are you going to do? These people were trying to organize an event where you roll up on Area 51. I can tell you, you want to drive an hour out in the desert from Vegas in 110 degree heat to roll down a road, and you're gonna hit a fence at the end of the road.
Right.
And it's gonna tell you stop.
Deadly force can be used, right?
No trespassing. Beyond this point, deadly force is authorized. Okay, that should be enough to stop anybody from rolling up on Area 51. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, to me, that's the ultimate boring content. I'm sorry. Okay?
Yeah.
Drive an hour and a half, see the fence, get turned around. Maybe the guys in the white vans come out with the tinted windows. Maybe not. Maybe you'll see a guy with a long arm up on the hill. Okay? But so, I don't understand. I don't really care what goes on at Area 51.
Right.
Like I said, I'm not a technology geek. I'm not an aliens geek. I don't.
She's not into sci-fi. Rosie's not into sci-fi.
The only thing I can think about at Area 51 is it's probably the most advanced testing of weaponry systems of the United States. Okay, telemetry. I was showing Marshall a thing that my daughter is involved in. She's one of the early people in the Space Force. They have the Air Force, now they're creating the Space Force. And she works in satellite technology. In other words, the United States is taking the battle to the next level beyond the ionosphere and the stratosphere into space. Okay, and it's very fascinating because, the theory is if you can knock out the eyes and the skies of your opponents, you've gained tremendous ground. Well, her operational stuff is, and I showed him the story of it, they're going to be actually taking down a satellite in space, one of our own satellites, to just prove that technology's there to destroy that eye in the sky and that space and missile system stuff. Cool. I like that. She's a geek, right? It's all the numbers, trajectory, right? All that kind of stuff. That's what moves her needle and all that stuff. To her, it's like a big video game. It's like it's the greatest video game in the world, right? Because you're using real live rounds. You know what I'm saying? Up there, so. Can boondock on Otello Street behind the Target in Kearny Mesa with any issues? Well, we're actually finding out that we can boondock basically anywhere. I mean, I can park in front of the mayor's house in this rig with no problem at all. As far as Marshall's he's 2 levels up. To me, to my analysis, you've got stealth vans like this one. Then you've got standard Econoline vans and things like that. That's level 2. Level 3 is when you have a camper van, okay? And if you have a high top on the camper van, it makes you a bigger, they're going to wonder if you're, they're at least going to wonder if you're sleeping in it. Okay?
I'm the most unstealth van that there can be. Not only do I have a big rack on the back, I've got a big high top.
Safe travels, Winky. She flew over Area 51. So then the next level up would be like a
Class C.
Class C, a small
B+.
C, then a big C. Then you get into the Class A's, and good luck, brother. Number one, the physical limitations of finding a parking spot. Number one. It's enough for Marshall had to park a mile away from. I was like, where in the heck are you? I'm hungry. I want to eat dinner. And then he had to park his van a mile away.
I would say that now
then you get up to fifth wheels and travel trailers. Now you really have the top of the line.
Let me ask you this: if you had a B+ or Class C, right?
Thank you, Twink.
If you had a B+ or Class C, what would be the longest length that you think you could get away with in San Diego without getting bothered?
Probably a combined length of maybe 26 feet, something.
Really, that long?
Yeah, I think that would be the absolute limits. But when you get to 29 feet, 34 feet. But the thing to me, I think, is now the limiting factor is finding a parking spot for it.
Right.
In a non-permit area.
Which is
Now, somebody said Marshall's going to be cold in Santa Rosa. The thing about Marshall is I don't like cold weather, and Santa Rosa never freezes. Okay, we don't ever get a freeze there. It's delightful. You have a couple months of rain, but in wintertime, it goes up to about 60, 62 degrees during the daytime and maybe down to the upper 30s at night. This guy loves that kind of temperature and weather. You don't need air conditioning.
Right.
Even in summertime, the afternoon breeze comes in and it drops the temperature from 95 down to 59 in a few hours. He's going to think he died and went to heaven, but the reality is a lot of the city burned up almost 2 years ago. A lot of it won't come back, but there's not those services, there's not the Middle Eastern stuff, so I'm already prepared for the ultimate bitch fest and complaining on Hangouts, Burnt Toast, California, blah, blah, blah. But if you keep an open mind, there's a lot of cool stuff you could do. Guerneville, California is the LGBT capital of the Bay Area right there. Okay, it's a cool town on the Russian River. They have the cottages, they have the clothing optional rentals, the hotels. They have a cool town, Guerneville. It's all LGBT friendly. It's a great community. You have famous Corbel champagne cellars, the Corbel winery tour. They you know, it's wine country. Okay, that's its claim to fame.
Right.
Napa and Sonoma counties produce the finest wines in the United States. Now, I don't drink wine. Okay, Janet Fields hates that. I don't drink wine. Her best friend doesn't drink wine, but that's the way it is. You have close proximity to San Francisco and Oakland. I know he's going to be like, "Hey, let's get there. Let's go to San Francisco tonight, man. Down in the Castro district. It's all biggest LGBT community in the United States. Down, beautiful, man. Clean as a whistle. All kinds of clubs and things like that. There will be tons of things to be done there. There's beautiful scenic vistas. There's seafood. Yeah. There's crabbing.
I think that,
like the boss, Janet and I are going crabbing on the 8th of November again. He won't go. He'd be pitching and heaving over the rail. But I'm just saying, you know, you can go deep sea fishing and do stuff like that. You can go to Sacramento. It's an easy jump to Sacramento. You can go up to Humboldt County and all.
So you mentioned Sacramento is a major city. Yet I do want to go to Modesto, Syria, and Turlock. There's a huge Assyrian community there. What do you know about that area, the
Nothing.
Sacramento?
I just know that's where Janet was born, was Ceres, Modesto.
What about Sacramento?
I know a lot about Sacramento.
So what is there to do there?
There's the Old Town Sac. There's a lot of really cool bars around there. There's historical stuff there that you wouldn't particularly care about, the state capital. But around Santa Rosa, there's
how's the nightlife scene?
Petaluma is a beautiful. As much as you rag on me,
no, I don't like Petaluma. It's too yuppie. Again. What is the nightlife scene in Sacramento like? You don't know? I've
been to the dive bar and a couple other places. It's okay, you know. Let's see. How long is Adventures Travel staying in? I don't even know what that means. Good morning, Scott Clark. Thank you for your kindness. If you're going to ask a question, just try to phrase it normally. Okay?
I don't think you've ever.
What about Bakersfield? There's not too much to see down in Bakersfield down there. It just bakes in the southern.
I don't think you've made any content in Sacramento, right?
You got Oakland, San Jose. I'm sorry to say, it's very boring.
Oh, it is?
Down in that area. You have all the high-tech companies. I might take Marshall down to YouTube headquarters.
What's Anaheim like?
Anaheim is just a big hotel with Disneyland there.
Oh, the city of Anaheim. Right?
Yeah, that's about it. Baseball. Do you know where your next destination might be? After here will be
Los Angeles. We're supposed to
Los Algodones.
Oh, yeah.
And then Yuma. I don't want to be there more than 2 days. Okay? I don't care if his pain level is 10 out of 10. Just get the crap done. Okay? This is just a drawn out BS affair. I want to get it done. When I think of going back from here, back to that 100-degree heat, and setting up my fan here at night, and just being in the Indian sweat tent again, it's not a very appealing thought.
Yeah.
But I don't think we'd be taking 2 rigs. The hotels are very cheap over in Yuma.
Yeah,
so that would probably be my first night in a hotel.
You can get a hotel room for $40-45 a night. Cheap.
After getting back there, we'll probably come back for maybe a day here in San Diego, my final beach day. Then I think we'll try to push up to LA. Maybe look around LA, get the feel of Los Angeles around there.
I've been
never been to LA before.
I've been wanting to see Tehran, Angeles, Iranian area, West Hollywood, like Rosie says.
He can't pay me back till Monday when the funds are in the bank. Today's not a banking day, okay? The pay is put into your account on the 21st, but access to funds is the next banking day for that. Okay.
Right, because it's the
And
weekends.
you don't have to type in all caps. Okay, just type normally.
You don't. When you get paid on YouTube on the weekends, it won't clear till Monday.
And just type all caps.
Because it's not a business banking day. It can't clear today.
Yeah. So no problem. Just put it in regular size type. I see it. No problem at all. A lot of people think they need to just use all caps all the time. I try to pay attention to the chat. Yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to see to LA. One of the worst things that you can do is go to a city for just a surface skim. Then you form fast opinions about it. You don't know Westwood. You don't know.
Right.
You don't know. Beverly Hills, Rodeo Drive. You don't know.
Spending all this time in San Diego.
Wilshire.
Yeah.
You don't know anything. You don't know Hollywood, West Hollywood.
You have to spend at least a week in every place you go to. You can't figure it out.
Good morning. Now boondocking is a breeze in LA. Nobody cares. The cops don't care. And it's too big.
Right.
The scale is too massive. Unless you're out there physically taking a dump on the street and somebody calls you or something like that. The cops, LAPD, just it's too wasteful of resources to go around. Do I drink coffee in the middle of the day? No, I don't. I usually just after a morning and evening.
So Rosie, I have to ask you, like, right now, we know.
MB, how you doing, honey?
Oh yeah, I just have to ask you. Now that you've seen San Diego, I mean, you've seen Hillcrest area, which you haven't seen before. You never came to Hillcrest. Basically, when you say Vegas is the #1 in nightlife, right, in the United States, you've said that.
No, I didn't say that.
No, you didn't say that?
I would think it's San Francisco nightlife is just as good, but it's a little more spread out.
Yeah.
See, I mean, define nightlife means spend money in Las Vegas. Okay, spend money.
Right.
For me, like you said, New Orleans, they party on the street, right?
Right.
Great content. You don't have to pay a
You don't
lot
have
of
to
money
pay exactly
to be down there.
So it's like somebody was commenting yesterday on your video. They're like, Rosie, why don't you go into the clubs? Is Elvis holding you back? Rosie doesn't like to go inside of the clubs. And Rosie doesn't drink anymore. I haven't seen her drink a drink. I haven't even,
Hey, Allie Pally.
She smokes more of these cigars. And that's why I was telling Rosie, she doesn't like to go in the club. She's not really drinking like she used to. So the perfect.
I do enjoy the clubs, but I didn't bring clubbing gear, so I feel like the SRO club here is a trans club. Now I'm trans. I'd like to go in and spend a few hours in there and check it out and have some drinks. Not to run the video camera, but to go there and take in the event and then report on it afterward.
Right.
But I have to go in with my shortiest shorts and my tops to kind of fit in. Cause I don't know. I mean,
the girls are dressed up.
The girls are always
right.
Like I live in the real world of being. I don't dress up on the weekend and play being trans.
Right.
Okay. I mean, I live it every single day for well over a decade and more right now.
Right.
So to me, that's very foreign to me, that type of thing, to be so over the top dressed, and unless I'm in Las Vegas or something like that.
Right.
In other words, we're in two different worlds, right? Yeah. I'm the day-to-day. I'm the low rider of the trans community. I'm just out there, Tell me one of those girls would be living in a van, on the streets of San Diego.
Right.
Okay. I mean, that's the difference. We're like polar opposites. Okay, so for me to go into a club like that, number one, I'm going to be terrifically underdressed compared to the way that they are. Because I didn't bring any. This was a working trip for me to, to do that. So what's going to happen? The guys are going to like me probably, and the girls are going to you'll start to get this catty tone around there, like, what did she do? Didn't she get the memo? And then you go to the ladies' room and they're all cackling. I mean, it's just, I'm more of a tomboy, okay?
Right.
And that's just the way. I've never had a professional makeup session. I've never had a makeup artist consultation to show me how to. These girls all look like they had makeup consultation.
Yeah.
They're wearing $500 sequin dresses,
Exactly,
all fitted to them, and it's just like, it's, Rosie's a rough and tumble kind of girl.
Right.
So, but I'm willing to go. Not willing. I would like to go over and spend some time just to immerse myself, because you've always said I'd like to see how Rosie reacts in.
Well, like I said, Rosie, like you said, you have your circle of people. Rosie has her circle of people in the, if you want to call them.
Okay, thank you, Michelle.
Well, no, I've said this before many times before to Rosie. Rosie has got her circle of people in the trans community, whether you want to call them cross-dressers or pre-op. I mean, Nicole G and Tara and a host of others that she communicates with online, people that she knows. We've seen Rosie talk to girls on the street.
There you go, Christina.
We've seen Rosie talk to guys on the street, but you rarely ever, I've never seen Rosie interact with other trans people in public, whether it be off the camera or on the camera. Well, I haven't seen her.
Sometimes it's flip a coin, Marshall. Sometimes it's not a pretty sight. Okay.
Well, I remember, and when you talk about that in Chicago, a lot of people from the African American community come from the South Side or West Side, and they come to Boys Town. You've been to Boys Town. And they hang out on the street, and sometimes they get into fights and things happen there. But most of the girls that go inside of the clubs that are just having a good time, they're not fighting in the clubs. I've seen them fighting in the streets. But all these girls in there were well behaved. They were well dressed. There was a lot of men right there. I don't know if they were there to buy them a drink or what the deal was, but there was nothing. Let's
look at it this way, Marshall. I guarantee you, can almost guarantee you, guys just don't randomly go into those kind of clubs and just kind of hang out. Now look, I got nothing against hooking up. People want to meet. Girls want to do business. That's fine. But I guarantee you that most of the guys that are in there are steering towards having either purchasing, okay, like I guarantee you half the girls are working girls in there, okay, which is fine. I don't care. You got to make a living. And the other half are there, their style and profile and just be part of the scene. But the guys come in there with one objective in mind, and there are guys, and to some extent now growing girls that are into the exploring the trans scene. And that's the difference, okay? It's like when I go into a sports bar, I know everybody's there to just drink and maybe watch a game and cheer, maybe get a little rowdy. And you know me, I like the all-American type of guys and gals. So they're not necessarily there looking to do a pickup. They're there because the atmosphere is cool, and so it's two different things. I don't know what Charlie said there. I love Charlie. Let's see. I don't know if I can. Hey, Honey Badger, how you doing? Let's see if Charlie. Rosie. Oh yeah, I'm a natural beauty.
Rosie has a certain niche, and her niche that she's doing now is New Orleans. If I was Rosie and I was, like I said, I was doing what she's doing, I would just stay in New Orleans, because you can drink on the street, you can party on the street, you can have your camera out, and nobody can do anything because you're in public. And
I'm not taking a camera into clubs.
I'm saying in New Orleans on Bourbon Street or on Decatur Street. So that if I was gonna do what Rosie's doing, I would just go to New Orleans and stay there for the whole winter when the weather's perfect, because that's the place that's conducive to. New Orleans is known where people can drink on the street.
Kevin Leonard, you just hit the nail on the head. Rosie has an authentic life, because like I say, you don't come home and all the gear comes off, and then you're either a dresser, which is cool, like Tara or somebody like that, and you live your life as a male. This is full time. I mean, this is it for me. So it's
the problem
it's
with the problem.
Now, and when, in an authentic life, you tend to start moving away more and more from those type of trans club experiences because frankly they don't interest you interest me because now you're looking for more authentic meetups like can I meet a nice girl on on YouTube and just hang out and have some fun, not necessarily to hook up but just to chill out and have fun. I don't see myself asking one of those girls to hang out and chill. Now I might be prejudging the situation, but they're not. And I don't want to say, but they tend to be younger. They tend to over glamorize. They tend to over glamorize the trans experience, and for that reason, I don't really relate to that type of thing.
No, because like I said, Rosie has her own form of
my
socializing.
Niche is changing. It's more travel. I'm not doing as much on
the Chuchin is what. The Chuchin is the heart of her channel.
Chuchin.
That's the heart of her channel. And most of these girls out there, these trans girls, they want to go in the bar and have a drink and have a good time. And their idea of having a good time is not, walking around doing a 6-mile chooch.
No.
Rosie is in a special category, a special genre. And
oh, Melton, why can't you just be...
is Melton John in there? Hey, what is he saying? What did he say?
Who wants to see these two crash and burn?
Let me see.
I just think about this guy. And no matter how kind you try to be to this guy, like evidently Rosie O'Kelly Troll made some comment about Chuck E. Cheese or something on his video. And instead of trying to authenticate whether it was really me or not, he just responds to the comment. This is a guy that many people in the community have tried to be kind to, but at the end of the day, I have to call it. This is the flakiest guy on YouTube. Now, is it an act? Probably. Because people don't act like that in real life, and don't interrupt.
Sorry.
Hit themselves in the head with a belt, be unintelligent enough to put a spell on somebody while they themselves are looking into the camera, which basic witchcraft 101 says when you cast a spell, never look at yourself in the mirror or anything that might reflect on yourself because the spell will come on you. The guy that's basically gone nowhere in life, and his great joy in life is to take people's kindness and turn it around and, twist it around so that he gets, he gets talked about and building up views. He's going to change the community, this, that, and the other. It's a big bore fest for me now.
Can I say something positive about Melton?
He's whining the other day. I got blocked on the channel. You're not blocked on the channel, okay?
Can I say something positive
as long
about...
as people come in here, but when somebody sits on a chat and they sit on there and they curse, the only thing they can do is F-bomb you. I'm sorry, you're of no more interest to me than a Coach 9500 whose only recourse to discourse is to curse. Okay, yeah, it excites all the nasty trolls on YouTube. Oh, we love you when you curse and everything like that. Big deal. It takes a moronic brain to just resort to cursing to get a. It takes more class and skill to verbalize in a crude and rude way. So.
Can I say something positive about Melton? I want to be positive. I don't want to conjure no negatives.
You can say what you want.
Nobody's
but
perfect.
I'm just tired of the guy's nonsense.
Yeah.
And,
I just want to say that, and I want to stay positive because that's what I want to do. I don't want to be negative. If I put Bergs and Melton together side by side, well, first of all, I've said in the bottom of the YouTube community, I like Mallory Williams' Hangouts. I think she's entertaining and funny. I think if I had a choice to watch Melton and Bergs, I'd rather watch Melton. I think he's funny. He's actually funny.
Hey, look, Marshall, this bottom line. Look, yeah. I listened to some of Melton's Hangouts.
Right.
There's times that I think that he's amusing and entertaining.
Right.
I admit that. Okay?
Right.
But then there's this there's this demon in his mind that says I have to go on the warpath to do this to these two people on YouTube. No, you don't. All you have to do is to just do your own thing on YouTube. Okay? All right? But nobody knows what your thing is because it's undefined. Right. Your thing is just talking about other people on YouTube, and I got these people messaging me today about First Amendment auditors. Rosie, are you a First Amendment auditor? And all this nonsense. I don't want to be a part of that crap. Okay? It has no interest to me. All right? I don't care about this fantasy land that evidently he lives in. It's of no interest to me. Okay? Obviously, he's very driven by the views that I bring and the views that I get. Hey, Melton, at one time I was in your situation with, 1,000 subs or whatever. I didn't come on and whine about Eric Nomadic Fanatic having 25 or 30,000 subs at that time. I just did my own thing, okay? And then the channel just grows over time, all right? That's the bottom line. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Do your own thing. Okay.
Yeah, my thing that I wanted to say
he schedules his life around me now, obviously.
My thing that I wanted to say to Melton is that I think he's a pretty intelligent guy. He's funny, and I think if he went out, and made some content like we're out chooching in a nightlife area, instead of just staying at home, taking his shirt off and talking to the camera. If you actually went out and made content like we did last night, take example what we did last night, I think it'll be more interesting. I think your channel would grow organically just with you. You don't have to talk about anybody else to grow your channel. You don't have to talk about me or Rosie or anybody else. You could just go out there and make content, and people will come, and you'll have your own following, and that goes with anybody.
Find your niche.
Find your niche in your genre.
Do it. Find it.
But a lot of people...
You'll never have success talking about other people and what they're doing on YouTube, because you're not an original. You're a derivative product of other people's creativity. Right. Okay? And when you're a derivative product instead of the first level,
right,
you'll never have the channel, because people won't care what you said a week from now. They will care if you do a cigar review. They will care if you go to buy a bottle of port wine and do a review. They will care. They will watch that kind of content for years.
Right.
Okay, so you're putting stuff on a bakery shelf that has a 1 week life to it. Okay.
All these channels that talk about me and Rosie, that talk about other YouTubers, they have a short shelf life. Like, when he talked about me, he had a big boom. He got over 1,000 subscribers just talking about me. Everybody does that. And then it just levels out. The same thing happened with a lot of other people who, and I'm not going to name their names, who trolled me. Every person that's trolled me has got 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers within 2 months. And then they just fade away into nothing. So it's a short-term thing.
It is.
So you can't build a channel on that. You have to have your own.
Now Melton's brought all these kooky First Amendment auditors to my channel now. And I don't know what these people do or what they're all about. And frankly, I don't really care, okay? Because it's not going to change the content that I do. Pecan Baby, how you doing? It's not going to change the content that I do on my channel, okay? My channel is gearing towards continuous travel and adventure, doing the van restoration, because it's something that I think would be fascinating to see what I can do with a very limited budget with that. But mostly travel, and very, very, very cheap. I have no idea what First Amendment auditors are. I now have these kooks have descended on my
it's freedom
channel.
of speech
and that's because because Melton pushed them over to my channel now. Thanks for nothing. Okay, I don't even understand what these people are about. Okay, they mean nothing to me. All right, but this is the kind of offbeat stuff that he gets involved with. So I don't know. It doesn't really mean anything. Doesn't mean anything to me. Just they do their thing, I do mine. But travels, yeah, they come off as radical. I'm not a radical person, okay?
So, Rosie, quick question for you. When was the huge injection of this mass amount of women from the drama community that came in? When did it happen?
When Vinny and I started exploring the drama community, and then kaboom, a huge wave, and Tucker was a part of it with Mama Bear too, and then a huge wave came in, and there was a mega merge of the two communities. Okay? It's kind of a rarity on YouTube to have, you know, because the beauty community to some extent merged in, but it was an enormous wave of two. You know, because Boyd's big too. I mean, Boyd is deep. It's
but
not
beauty
just
wasn't as big as drama, right?
Right.
Drama's a lot bigger. Yeah.
So, Susie says, I like your new positive attitude. He's generally positive when he's with.
So would you agree that the really nasty trolls are from the bottom of the YouTube community compared to drama? I think that they are. They're the nasty. Yeah, they're the.
As I always said, Boyd will call.
Right.
Boyd will call your family, your ex. They'll track your kids down, and
drama won't go that far. No.
They'll get you fired from your job. They'll put it in gear. They'll come by.
They're the nastiest
of
the nasty. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I said. The Boyd takes it to a whole nother level compared to sending a pizza to somebody's home, or they might call CPS on somebody.
Right.
But the stuff that they will do in real life. And you got people running channels now that are they're doxing people openly now and leaving that up. I don't know whether YouTube doesn't care anymore or things like that. I don't know, but
in other words,
Boyd is a whole.
They're the most vicious of the vicious trolls, right?
Well, most people in Boyd are fun. They're here for just fun.
Right.
But it does have a element of people that
a hand select few.
A hand select. Grand poobahs of the Boys that will wake up in the morning and be in attack mode and go to sleep at night thinking about jobs, family, everything that you can think of, stalking. I've had people send me videos private of rolling around the Rancho on the block and coming by. That's what what's his name? Slim Travels.
Right.
You know, I mean, there's all kinds of things that people do send you. You know, I've had half a ton of Granger catalogs sent and magazine subscriptions, and I mean, it's just Harry and David's fruit subscriptions and things like that. Yeah, I mean, this is the stuff that.
Hey, did you get the Foursquare phone call from the Indian guy?
Yeah, Foursquare, James from Square Trade and all that. Yeah. And over and over and over. I mean, that's the difference between Boyd and say the drama community. Like Miss Freaking Wonderful will come on the road. She will track you for an hour on the highway or whatever. But that's about the extent that send a pizza to somebody, maybe call somebody's job or something like that. But you have to agree, the Boyd is at a whole nother. Level.
Again, like I said, and it is what it is. When you're up at 2 a.m, I was walking in Yuma, and the trolls call the cops on me. So they're up at all times. These guys are available 24/7. They're Johnny on the spot.
So I will say, just on a cap on Melton. Yes, Melton, I do enjoy some of your hangouts and things. I will say your computer drives me nuts. It sounds like a Boeing engine going off occasionally underneath of it. Turn your volume up too a little bit so that people can hear you.
Right.
And, I got nothing against you, but have a little bit of authenticity about things, all right? I know you want to grow the channel, and I want to grow, but, I would be happy if you succeeded more on YouTube and became a uber gigantic YouTube celebrity. I would cheer it. But I'm just saying, I'm not averse to what you're doing, but I'm just giving you a general piece of advice. If you build your channel on other people, you're going to have a very difficult go moving beyond shelf life dated product that nobody's going to care about. Okay, put things out there that people will watch year in, year out.
Right.
Like cigars. Cigars is a big thing on YouTube. There's a big cigar community. Tara and I put up our video of smoking cigars on the Rancho when we went to the cigar club. It turned into a huge video. Why? Because girls smoking, cigars and stuff like that.
Right.
Well, yeah. So, you're not blocked on my channel, obviously, Melton. I don't just block people. I don't think there's anybody who's been blocked off of here today. So, anyway, I'm not sure what time it is. Right now,
we're at about 55 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go about 5 more minutes, and then it's moving on. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's quite an experience when. Well, I'm not gonna go down. Okay, let's see. So what else we need to talk about today? It is Tijuana Day, just to put a cap on things. And I'm looking forward to that. Tomorrow will be Laundry Day. I'm waiting to see Life with Diane and when we can get together. I got Lisa down in the area here. I'm hoping, if not on the weekend, and maybe she can have us like we can have a cup of coffee or something. Here in San Diego, we're willing to drive to where she is in the area and have a cup of coffee and meet her. She's a wonderful. I love Lisa. She's an incredible person on there.
I think one thing interesting to see here in San Diego area is, like I was telling Rosie, where all the nomads hang out at, which parks by the water. I really want to hit those. Maybe going to some RV parks, driving around, making some content, kind of showing you RV
I've done
parks.
RV parks down here. Mission Bay RV Park. I have videos up on them.
And also more of the beaches. We're going to go check out more of the beaches, obviously. But
I think he'll be peeling off and doing some of his own independent. He wants to meet RVers and interview people. What is that? So, what's up, Carlos? What about your comment there? I didn't see your comments. Might be too far up, Carlos. I don't know. I don't see it.
Oh, that's what
Sorry, Carlos. You might have to just repost it. Red pill's not banned. People don't get banned off of this unless you're either doxing somebody else on the chat or just using horrendously foul language. Just not one of the things that I'm into. I like people that can use the English language in a constructive way to say the most negative things. Bella Rose, the Queen of Buffalo.
Hey, Bella, how you doing? Nice to see you. I wish Bella was down. We're going to go down
to Black's Beach. That'll probably be one day next week. I won't be nude, but I will be topless down on. We'll go down to Black's Beach for I want to be able to talk about the experience. Who was down there? Was it a young crowd? Was it an older crowd? How accessible is it?
All right, I might go nude only based on one thing: if I take Sildenafil before I go. Oh woo! Black Beach is gonna get the uncut girl, baby.
No, I'm not. I'm not inclined to spend a night in Tijuana. No, I'm not. Let's see, the trolls. Oh my goodness, Vinny, the trolls called your hospital last night? God darn, that's like a new low right there. Here's a guy that's recovering from learning to use... That's unbelievable. I mean, you got to be kidding me, man. How low can you go to call a rehab facility?
Man, that's low. That's low. Yep. Unbelievable,
man. God almighty, I'm sorry, Vinny. Vinny, you got to get out of there. You got to just check yourself out of there and go home, man. You got to check yourself out of there and get out of that place, Vinny. Get home to the bosom of your family. Let's see. Went to a nudist colony. Oh, there you go, Uber Goober. Send me a picture.
Is that Uber Goober lady?
Thank you. Yeah, I love Uber Goober. She really cracks.
What is
the thing I like about Uber Goobers, once in a while she gets the fire in the belly, man, and her hangouts when she's on fire are like a legendary, man. She's just, you can see her cheeks get that nice little rosy glow on them and everything, and I think I think it's so cool. Well, Nate, the doxing and it's just a tradition on YouTube. Like I say, there were plenty of things to be mad at me about. Like I say, a lot of people are very, disgusted that I'm hanging, that Marshall's hanging with me and I'm hanging with him. But I put the reality out that when we're doing things and traveling, I have a good time. I got to say, I have a good time. Because, when the camera's not on, and even when it is on now, except for last night when he wanted to be a bull and confront one other bull on the street there, it's good times that we've been having down here. And I've been enjoying to see how cheap I can, the thing is, it's like a max-min problem in linear algebra, okay? You're trying to get the maximum benefit out of a place for the minimum money. In other words, if you come into a place like San Diego, prime time resort town, big time. I'm still in the heart of prime time.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, so you have a very high hotel bill. Then if you can come in and enjoy the life, and I'm not going to a food bank, or I'm not going to a food pantry, I'm not eating at the Salvation Army kitchen. I'm putting money into the economy here, but what I'm trying to do is get the maximum enjoyment out of the maximum place I can be for the minimum low cost as I can be. Why not stretch your money and just make it last? And you can bring content too, while you're doing it. So
I'm glad that Rosie's doing it.
Yeah, we saw Norbecker's new video. It was funny. Yeah,
that was pretty funny. Yep.
Yeah, I love Norbecker. He's actually my favorite.
But I just want to say the thing about Vinny.
Norbecker's my favorite parody.
Yeah, nobody deserves. This guy is in recovery and he had a stroke.
Hey, Andrew.
And that is, nobody deserves to be called, at the facility that he's in trying to recover for the trolls to call it. That's really. But that's how nasty the bottom of YouTube is. That's an example of how nasty they are.
That's what they'll do. So that's why I tell people, protect your privacy. Don't let anybody cajole you into going on cam if you don't want to, unless you're a person that's going to come out, and the whole Ginger No Soul Tammy Sue Davis experience left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. I will never back anybody in any medical issue or anything again unless I see them physically on cam. And unless I see incontrovertible proof that there is that it's the real deal, okay? No more blind, money sympathy things unless I see exactly
evidence. I want to see evidence.
Absolute evidence. There'll be no more, the buck stops on that stuff. It's one thing to support content, and today I had a great time. Like the last 2 days have received a very epic level of support on the channel, which has been great, which once again proves if you bring content, people will reward that. They love that. But if that's what I tell people that sit around in their cars or on their beds and they talk and they give, that's not bringing content in my opinion. Okay, so that's not, and then they demand that they get paid for that. There's nothing there that you'd pay to see in a movie theater, right? You'd pay to see maybe the streets of Hillcrest with what's going on here, or Beach Time in San Diego if it's all part of a whole continuing series of stuff, okay? All right. Anyway, Missy Jenn, I love you. Hope you're doing good. Won't be long till I see you again. We'll be getting your infusion. Marshall and I are going to move on now. We're going to start making our way south. Get over the border to Tijuana today. How's it going to go? I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know. I'm keeping an open mind though. I feel quite sure in daytime. I feel quite sure in the daytime that it'll be fine. Love you, Amy, and everybody on here. So you all have a wonderful day. Uber goober, get better quickly. And honey, for God's sakes, find something to rant about. All right. All right. So we will see you guys later, and see you in Tijuana. And there'll be a video coming out on last night's epic Chinese meal. wanted Marshall actually liked.
And one last thing I want to say, Vinny G, God bless you. I hope you get better, brother.
Yeah, hope you feel better,
All right.
Vinny, and get home, man. You shouldn't have to spend that much time at the facility. Get home, get behind your board, and get cracking. Okay, so y'all have a good time. Yep, take care. Chug-a-lug dog, everybody. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Christina, good to see you. Star Walker Blue. Mr. Z, see you in Las Vegas mid-October.
See you, Mr. Z.
All right, y'all take care.
Woo!